Deep in the heart of Vietnam, where the jungle consumes all of the land, lies a city in ruins that's been hidden for centuries. What was once the center of an empire is now just whispers of forgotten kings and sacred rituals. It is day 8 of my goal to get to 30 cities in 30 days in Asia, and today we're visiting the lost city of Misan. It's currently 7:20 a.m. April 1st. Hopefully there's no April Fool's jokes over here because I'm gullible and don't want anyone to fool me. But it is our final day in Vietnam and my heart is hurting. I love this place so much. I'm gonna miss it so much. But we're gonna go find out what happened to the city and how it became lost. Thank you.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Yes, bye. See you.
Bye.
That might be a document.
Yeah. We're officially here. Now we just gotta buy a ticket because I guess the ticket is separate from the tour cost. Tour cost was about like 22 bucks, something like that. And the ticket's about $6. Thank you. Got my ticket that I already bent. Let's go. It's supposed to be super hot today, so it's gonna be fun.
Hello.
Hi. Before we visit the lost city of Misan, we need to understand the story of the Champa Kingdom and how their millennium-long reign ultimately collapsed. But to do this, we need to go back in time, all the way to the 2nd century. In the early years, the Champa, or Chama, migrated from Indonesia and the Philippines to what is now Vietnam. These settlers quickly realized that the location that they landed on had enormous potential due to its fertile land and strategic trading routes. Over time, the Chama became very powerful, but their prosperity would soon catch eyes from neighboring tribes. From the 11th to the 15th centuries, they defended their territory against other Vietnamese tribes like the Dai Viet, and even withstood several Mongol invasions, which, if you ask me, was pretty badass. But all kingdoms eventually fall, and the Chama are no exception. By the 17th century, all Champa territories were absorbed, and the empire ceased to exist. The Chama people are still around today. In fact, we're going to meet a descendant later in the video, but their ancient structures have mostly disappeared, with one exception, Misan. However, recent history has not been so kind to what's left of the Champa Kingdom, but we'll explore that in more detail soon. Whoa. That looks wild. There's different kinds of bricks. The white ones and the darker ones are from the French after they restored the buildings, but the red ones are from the Champa people. And apparently their recipe for making bricks could last thousands of years, but no one knows how they made them, still to this day. So these are like some of the most durable bricks in the world, but no one can recreate the recipe. So what's interesting is that there's 3 buildings all lined up in a straight line. One is the meditation building in the front, the second is the entrance, and then the third and final one is the temple for the king. And what's also interesting is that each king has its own temple design. So the meditation room and the entrance are both the same, but each temple has its own design depending on how the king wanted. It's always a trip seeing stuff like this. It makes you think how different and how far we've come as a species to think that this used to be like temples and meditation rooms and stuff like that versus houses that you see every single day. It's important to note that the Chama took their religion very seriously, which is why one of the 3 structures made was dedicated to worship. What's fascinating is that since the Champa Kingdom's location was a main hub for trading, a lot of missionaries from India would come and influence their beliefs onto the locals. As a result, Hinduism became the Chama's main religion and the only dynasty in Vietnam to follow those beliefs, which is why there are so many statues of the god Shiva, who is the most powerful deity in Hinduism, and Ganesh, Shiva's descendant. This is the biggest temple by a long shot. I guess the reason why the kings wanted their own temple was because all of this is to worship Shiva, but the kings also wanted to be worshiped like God. So whoever this king was, he had a big ego. As I kept exploring, I started to notice giant holes in the ground, I would soon find out that they're actually craters from bombs. That is one big crater. I believe this is another crater. Yep, it's another crater. I know what you're thinking. Bomb craters? From what? Well, from us, Americans. You see, during the Vietnam War, the Viet Cong, the communist forces fighting against the South Vietnamese government in the US, used My Son as a base of operations. The ancient ruins provided cover, and the dense jungle made it difficult to spot targets below. So, the United States solution was to drop bombs over the entire jungle, specifically targeting My Son. While the bombing helped the US in the short term, its long-term effects resulted in significant collateral damage to the historical site, a loss that can never be undone. All of this that you see in this area was rubble after the American-Vietnam War. Like a couple years ago, this whole area was recreated to look like how it used to before it was bombed in the war. The question is, how did they know what it looked like back then? And the guide explained that it's similar to how paleontologists think that a T-Rex looks. They think it looked like this, based off of other buildings and temples and things like that, but it's not 100% certain. But this is all recreated. So this building, this whole site, it's got the same layout. It's got the meditation room, the entrance, and then last but not least, the temple. All of this was also rained down on by bombs, so this has been restored to what they think it used to look like. No more war, because y'all are bombing temples and stuff. Not cool. MTV, welcome to one of the king's cribs. It is so hot. Whew. These steps were made for people with little tiny feet, I guess. After exploring the lost city, the locals performed some dances, demonstrating their ancient culture.
The first one is the Champa people from the past. They've been on the rice field. It is the Champa dance, dancing pose of Shiva.
And finally, it was time to meet a descendant of the Champa people. Now we are in a rice cooking house. They use this machine right here. That's how they grind it up. They got some pigs over here. Look at these guys. This very sweet lady is a Champa descendant, and she's teaching us how they make the rice. So, of course, I had to give it a try. So I put it down and then go like this.
Roll it, yeah, right.
All right. It's all flabby. No one's gonna want that one. I don't know about that, but thank you for teaching me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. What's her name?
My name Hoa.
Can you tell her to write her name at the bottom of this photo? Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, almost hit my head. Bye. As we sail away from My Son, I leave with a deeper understanding of an entire culture. Learning about the rise and fall of the Champa Kingdom was truly mind-blowing. And seeing the shadows of war firsthand was heartbreaking. Yet I couldn't help but wonder, if an entire dynasty was hidden from the world, what other secrets are out there waiting to be discovered? Well, it's a good thing I have a lot of exploring left to do.